This week on Hobie Outdoor Adventures, we're going after one of the ocean's fastest fish, the striped marlin of Magdalena Bay. These fish are known for their raw power and acrobatic escapades, and they yield a sharp bill used for stunning their prey. Catching marlin from a boat is one thing, but imagine catching one from a kayak, sitting at water level, eye to eye with the fish.
Oh! What? This is awesome! Woohoo!
They're everywhere under the boat!
Come along with us for the thrill of a lifetime. It's the Hobie Mag Bay Adventures series, and it starts right now.
Oh, it's a nice one, dude.
Ah, yeah!
I told you that was a good fish.
Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures.
Awesome.
Morgan, Mark Mills from Daiwa and friends, had a successful fishing day in the mangroves of Magdalena Bay, Mexico. They returned to the island house where a delicious lobster dinner, prepared by the Mag Bay Lodge staff, awaits them. Now it's time to get ready for tomorrow's battle.
We had to get the gear prepped, and this is a whole different type of gear. We're fishing 50 and 65-pound braided line, and then we had to load up some, 100 and 130 liters to catch the marlin. We're tying up some FJ knots with the group. It's one of those knots that works for everything, especially on heavy line.
I'm glad that I'm ready for today. I got my Wahoo gear ready. I got my Marlin gear ready. Let's go.
We woke up in the morning and it was exactly the forecast that we hoped for. And even better yet, we already had bait in the tanks. We loaded the bait up. We all had some really, 10 to 12 inch mackerel, great for marlin.
We're heading offshore in search of marlin, and I know that all of us are extremely excited for that. Magdalena Bay is world-renowned for bait balls, sardine and mackerel bait balls, and those striped marlin get on those bait balls. This is going to be unreal. So we're about 10 miles shy of our destination, and I start seeing piles of frigate birds, and I point them out to the captain, and he just lights up with excitement. And I'm like, if the captain's excited, this is a good thing.
It was amazing. We're all freaking out because there's marlin slashing, mackerel and sardine underneath us, and we knew today was going to be special. The whole tough thing was keeping your head straight because your heart's pounding, and we knew we needed to get in the water fast.
Look at that, another one right there. Oh my gosh. This is something I have dreamed about ever since I've started kayak fishing, and here's my opportunity. They're right there in front of me. All I could think of was like, let's get the kayaks in the water, and I don't want to mess this up.
As soon as we started making about 2 kicks on the paddles, Rob was on, then we hear, oh, Doug Olander's on, so Doug's on. Morgan and I are freaking out. Now, the bird school that we were on has already kind of go down swell, and we're trying to paddle to it. We're trying to paddle to it, and we can see the fish up, but it's just outside of us, and we're freaking out. Both those guys are on fish.
I'm bit. Hang on, baby, here we go. He doesn't even know he's hooked yet. I mean, look at this right here. There's marlin foaming on this bait ball. I pedaled up to it, tossed my mackerel in there, and I'm on. Mark's right here. This fish hasn't even come up yet.
I'm fourth one out. I don't have a marlin on yet. My heart's pounding. I got fish in front of me. Morgan's about 20 or 30 yards in front of me. He's on, and I'm going, oh my gosh, am I gonna be that guy and not catch a marlin? I don't know how long this is gonna go on for.
Up next, Morgan's fight is far from over. We'll find out who will win the battle right after the break. Hobie Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by Daiwa, advancing the sport of fishing. Power Pole Micro Anchor, Swift, silent, secure, and small. AFTCO, American Fishing Tackle Company. And by St. Croix Rod, best rod on earth. Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. We're kayak fishing in Magdalena Bay, Baja California, Sur, Mexico. Morgan, Rob, and Doug are hooked up to striped marlins, and they're getting towed by the fish in different directions, now miles apart.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Woo! Oh, don't come this way.
Morgan's in front of me, I'm watching him. I see a marlin coming right towards me, and it literally turns on my bait and eats it. Oh yeah, I'm on!
Oh, Mark's on too, oh no! Yeah!
All 4 of us are on marlin, and they're all big ones. Now I'm trying to figure out how to fight a marlin on a kayak. Morgan had taught me that when it starts to pull you, and they'll pull you at like 7 knots, to use the rudder. And that was the whole thing, is using the rudder and just let the rudder and the fish pull you. And I'm going for a ride. I mean, I know it's November, but I think it's Christmas and I could be Santa Claus because I'm getting pulled on my sleigh. I got my passport here and I'm just slowly turning it, keeping the fish right in front of me, tiring it out. It's not that far out. I think it's probably right down here. We get to the point where I get it pretty much kicked, you know. I got it underneath the boat and I start getting pulled and pulled. And we're safe. We got radios, we got GPSs, you know. I kid you not, I may have been pulled 3 to 5 miles. And I get to a point where I'm like, guys, don't forget about me. Morgan's getting his shots done. He's getting some great video work in.
I hadn't hooked a big fish in a while, so having a big animal like that pulling you around on the kayak, I kind of took a while to get used to steering my kayak, using my rod to steer the nose of my kayak. You know, if the fish starts going to the right, I pull my rod tip to the left and it spins my kayak around perfectly. But I can keep that marlin in that like 30-degree angle right in front of my kayak, and they're just pulling you lengthwise of the kayak. Basically, you have 12 feet of platform for you to bob around on. We're doubled up on marlin. Me and Mark on the Hobie Mirage passports. Just as important as it is to us catching a marlin, it's also very important to make sure that we treat that large animal with a lot of respect and revive it if we need to. Get it back in a healthy state where it swims off happily. So 2 things that are very important to that scenario: long leaders. We were fishing with 10 to 12 foot leaders. I was using 130-pound fluorocarbon. That way, once you get the fish close to the boat, you can actually grab the leader and hand line the fish up next to the boat. Number 2 are circle hooks. We were using 5/6/0 circle hooks. And the beautiful thing about circle hooks is even if that marlin swallows the bait, it doesn't get hooked anywhere inside of its mouth. Every single marlin that we hooked today was hooked perfectly in the corner of the mouth. We were able to get that hook right out of its mouth. Try to swim this fish back to life before I release it. Just slowly revive this fish after it gave me an amazing fight on the Hobie. Beautiful Mag Bay striped marlin. Thank you, baby. Woohoo! There she goes. Okay, I gotta get back in the boat. That was incredible. My first ever marlin landed on the Hobie Mag Bay. We got a quadruple hookup between our group. This is insane. We're gonna load my kayak back on the punga. Let's go find Mark. Marky! So we got Mark here from Daiwa, fishing a medium heavy rod on a striped marlin. And it's right here. Is it go time?
It's go time. Liner's in.
Almost got it. Aren't those circle hooks nice?
Yes, they are.
Right in the corner of the mouth. Easy release. You like that, Mark? Do you want to do the honor of reviving him?
Yeah.
Just hang on tight.
I'll talk to you myself.
Okay, so all you got to do is kind of hold him in the water with like your left hand and start pedaling forward. Is he good?
He's good. Yeah! he goes. Woo!
Bye, buddy.
Kayak fishing's fun, but this is a whole different world, man.
Marlin hand. It's okay. There's still a lot more skin on there for grabbing a few more.
Coming up, we're in the middle of the sardine run of Magdalena Bay. Morgan, Mark, Doug, and Rob have all landed beautiful marlins, but the day is just getting started.
Woo! Woo!
We'll be back for more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. We're kayak fishing in Magdalena Bay, Baja California Sur, Mexico. Now, every fall, the cobalt blue waters outside of Magdalena Bay draw in massive schools of sardines. And with this amazing migration, the predators come to feed. Seabirds, sharks, sea lions, whales, dolphins, and a plethora of pelagic fish all show up for the feast, including large schools of striped marlin.
After catching my first marlin on the kayak, I had to take a minute just to realize what had happened and really take in the entire moment. So I actually stopped fishing and I paddled over to a bait ball where there were about 6 or 10 marlin constantly coming through, slashing at the sardines. You would watch them eat one, and I was sitting there happy as a lark watching these beautifully lit up electric blue marlin with their white tips just, you know, like aliens flying underneath the water and just attacking these bait balls. I was in heaven. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it almost as much as actually catching a fish from the kayak, and putting those two experiences together was just extremely special.
Don't forget about Marcos over here.
I read you, Mark. Just trying to figure out what to do.
I'm good. Mine's here on the leader. He's just dragging me around, so don't stress on it. All right, well, I'm gonna try and land this thing here. I'm gonna try and leader it. All right. Come on, buddy. Back down there. There he goes. Woo!
As the day went on, the action just never stopped. There were birds in the sky, bait fish, marlin slashing through the bait fish. I was hooked up to my second marlin, and I actually took the GoPro off the mount and was just filming myself. This is insane. I loosened the drag on my fish so that I could film what was going on around me. And I was just pedaling with marlin swimming underneath my kayak, watching them come up and, you know, eat mackerel and sardines. I mean, every angler dreams of having experiences like this, and we got the good weather, the fish were there in the thousands, and my dream was coming true. After getting towed around for miles, the 4 of us were on the moon, and we all caught a few marlin. I ended up with 4 for the day, and my last one, I really put the wood to it with that Soltiga 2-speed lever drag reel and an XXH Proteus rod. I felt like it was the perfect setup for targeting those marlin. I could pull hard on them when I needed to and back off the drag when I didn't. But my last marlin of the day, I got him to the kayak in 6 minutes. Danny, our captain, said, "Morgan, that fish is really green. You probably shouldn't grab it yet. You should probably let it tire out more." But I was like, I think it's ready. And so I grabbed it, and that was a mistake. And it was still very, very fresh and green, so I ended up letting it go and letting it tire itself out for, you know, a minute or 2 more, and then I was able to grab it by the bill and get the circle hook out and release it. There it is. 8 minutes of its life, pulling me around, then it went right back to what it was doing.
I was happy. I didn't even need another fish the rest of the day, but I wanted to have one other person catch a fish on a kayak, and that was Toby, the lodge owner. That guy's caught tons of marlin. He's down here all the time. It's not a big deal for him, you know, on that end. But I don't think he had ever caught one on a kayak.
There we go. There he is.
All right, we got color, deep color.
You see how big this fish is? Yeah,
It's a big one.
Probably 200. I can't, oh, there it goes.
That's enough.
That was epic. After a good battle with a big stripey, finally I think the leader wore through after so long in the water, and it was awesome. He was right there at the boat many times, and it was fun to get that guy up.
Up next, we move spots and run into more incredible fish species. We'll be right back with more fishing action in the rich and pristine waters of Magdalena Bay. Hobie Outdoor Adventures has been brought to you by Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Hobie Eyewear. See life easy. And by Railblaza. Hold everything with Railblaza.
All of us were on an extreme high from experiencing insane wide open marlin fishing. We could have caught 30 or 40 marlin if we wanted to off the kayaks, but at a certain point you gotta say, you know, we've had enough, we came here, we've had an amazing experience, let's go and see what else we can find today. We were just riding down back from the marlin grounds and we found a floating something over here. So we're gonna launch the kayaks, slowly pedal over to it, and see if there's any Dorado or Wahoo hanging on it. Fingers crossed, there's some fish there, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting bit, I'm bit.
Nice. Mahi?
I think it's a Dorado, yeah. Mahi-mahi. Saw a couple swim by me on the kayak. Wow, a fish that came in under 10 minutes. Used to catching marlin now. Got her. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! Mahi-mahi! That's awesome. Gorgeous fish. We're gonna get her revived a little bit and let her on her way. Off you go. How cool was that? Feels really squirrely. It's a Wahoo. Casted this Raider jig out, let it sink out, and was cranking it back really, really fast. I got my first Wahoo ever. This is insane.
Oh, he's stoked.
Look at that, Wahoo! Okay, these things have really sharp teeth. Woo! Wahoo, baby! My first Wahoo ever!
Yeah, Morgan, congratulations!
Look at that. You know what? These are really, really good eating. I'm gonna keep this one to eat too. What? It's my first time catching marlin. I catch a mahi-mahi, and then to end off the day, I catch a Wahoo like that. That is incredible. They have really, really sharp teeth, so I'm staying away from the mouth for a while. There it was, a beautiful Wahoo, my first one ever. So marlin, Dorado, Wahoo, all in one day. You can only do that in Mag Bay. Sierra mackerel, cousin of the Wahoo. Fishing in dirtier water, I've never ever caught a Sierra mackerel on the bottom.
Bonita.
So we had our phenomenal day of striped marlin fishing, and it was really everything we could have hoped for and more. I don't think any of us are going to forget that day. You know, when you feel the bite, you set the hook, and you see that marlin, that fish larger than you, come rocketing out of the water 20 feet off your kayak, it's breathtaking.
They're giant, powerful, beautiful animal, really deserving respect and awe. Then it comes to the moment to release the fish, and maybe by the 10th time, my heart won't pound so much, but when I grab hold of a marlin and go to get the hook out, you know, my heart's going.
We got back home and I think everybody had a smile on their face for the entire day until they went to sleep, and then they probably dreamt about catching marlin off of the kayaks.
Special thanks to Daiwa for providing all the fishing gear used in this unforgettable fishing trip, and Mag Bay Lodge for epic fishing and generous accommodations. Go to magbaylodge.com and book a once-in-a-lifetime fishing trip, or call them to customize the trip of your dreams. Next week, the Hobie Mag Bay Adventure Series continues. We cross over the peninsula and launch from a beach on the Pacific Ocean. We're headed to the Thetis Bank, a pinnacle surrounded by deep water where yellowfin tuna, yellowtail, and other species come to feed. Our anglers find themselves surrounded by fish, and the popping and jigging action is on fire. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Hobie Outdoor Adventures.